不给他来，不给他来。
非常时期，非常时期，别这样，对，别啊！不要了，站住！哎呀，非常时没有什么，我的散掉就知道。非常时期，你都不能散掉。开，我们散掉就知道。你看看这，叫他把散掉。我们远一点。我这叫他把散掉。工作就行了啊！叫他收你钱的人。这还是几个人？干嘛？你这干嘛呢？说好，配合我的动作，上线，你上线，让他删掉，删掉，删掉就行了，上线，上去，请你坐上去，你把它删掉就知道，你把它删掉，来了，你们删掉干嘛呢？把它删掉就知道，把它删掉不就解决了吗？好，你扣住，上，别上，上来，删掉不就解决了吗？该扣的扣上去，该扣的扣。车开高了高，要是没有，给到对，给到对，给到对。有啊，有，咱们那个正好拿过来。好了，继续现在来吧。
啥？他心里你这个一是上120的，再你就多喝水。现在就，那你
我咱们报120，
是不是？
让你报完交给去，
有没有110报？110来？
他不配合就110，配合大夫洗胃啊，不配合就
挂了吗？这不是？
没事。你不是没事，
你们来了吧？咱哥们儿有缘，就说你坐着喝口水。
别唠这个醉话，你就是啥？你是啥？是我打120，然后直接给你拉去，还是怎么整？
开完钱几个给我别去。
你们排队排好了，你们进来啊！哪里像这样搞我死好了啊！
那走吧。排好队，进去排好队。
哎，不冷静嘛！
就是病人病了也要吃东西。
那问一下，到底什么时候才能住院？这都已经
我不能给你准确答复，我们不能给你准确答复，跟你准确答复，我们就知道什么时候走了，我们就可以知道什么时候下班了。
但是他昨天真的出现了呼吸困难，他这个情况，他没有办法呼吸了。
还有很重的，到时候属那个翻别的心了。
那真的到了那么严重的话，那么样搞？
没有办法，我只能跟你答没有办法。你打到哪个医院去都是没有办法，你都是一样的。
没有办法，那总要有一点办法呀。那你这边已经管控了，啥医院的也搞不了了，这个医院也不行，那个医院也不行，那么样搞？
我编不出办法来啊，只能等电话，一旦有床就通知你们。
那什么时候才能有床呢？
不知道，你不能，我没有办法给你确切答复，我给你答复就是不负责任的。
我知道你们前段时间也是跟我打电话说那个叫什么呀？还是要等通知，说那个什么东西。
只能等通知啊。
但是已经过去了这么多天了，
还是只能等通知。你那里面住进来的人不是一个月能出得去的，只能等扩建你们再进来。
那啥时候扩建？
或者新医院承建好。
那啥时候扩建呢？
你问我没有办法答复你。我们都是一样的，没有办法。
那这个排队打针这个情况就不能？
人都没有还排队打针，能排队打上针就不错了。上班的人都没有了，病的病，死的死，还排队打针能够解决什么？能打上针就不错了。现在我们护士被关进去几个隔离了，还不有人回家隔离，有的护士长都住不进去。先拆栓，人舒服一点出来打针，打完针回去屋里降温，盐水漱口。现在只能这样子。他手有酸的，好不好？
好。
加大传播真相的力度，我们要拯救在水深火热的湖北的武汉的同胞们，我们要再把国内的所有有关疫情的真实声音发到国际上来，做好准备，没有共产党的新中国的以后什么样。
As of today, 20,630 people in 24 countries around the world have been infected with coronavirus that we know of. The virus has killed 425 people so far, as we know, or that's all we know of. The vast majority of which have occurred within China. I extend my sympathies to the people in China who have lost family members and remained quarantined by the Chinese authorities in an unprecedented lockdown of millions of people. I don't think we've ever seen this before. However, despite the severity and infectiousness of this virus, the Chinese government has so far refused to fully cooperate with the global community. And again, this is something we hope does not become politicized. Viruses know no borders, and they don't.
電話会談を行わせていただきました。私から今回のですね、新型コロナウイルス感染症に関して、心からお見舞いを申し上げ、同時に隣国としてですね、できることがあったら何でも言ってほしいと。支援したい、こういうお話を申し上げたところ、マスクと、物資が不足をしている、こういう話がありましたので、チャーター機すでに3便飛ばして、またですね、どういった形で事態が進んでいるか、こういったものを見ながら、中国政府が必要としているもの、中国の国民の皆さんが必要としているものをですね、困った時の友人としてお届けするように。
武漢頑張れ、頑張れ、頑張れ、武漢。为你把眼泪擦。 这回是玩的了，居民出行证，
一家出一个，
只能出一个人啊！哎呦我的妈，到20号呢，还得双号能出去，单号限单双号了，这回人也限单双号了，人太多。
姐妹们早上好，这是昨天晚上12点钟，然后我转到这个地方来，什么叫什么方正方太还是什么部队，所以部队的那个医院，里面又没有厕所，又没有药吃，又没有开水，上厕所还要在外面200多米以外，外面下着大雨，本来指望进了医院好了的，这还搞拐了，全都是这种病人，恨不得还要感染。这是什么方太部队所有的那个医院，这么多人，这怎么看呢？这互相感染还吓人些，又没药吃，又没针打，全都是这样子的人，有的甚至比我还重一点，到处都是的，又没隔离，就这一个板子。而且那边都是人，这都是的。在红山宾馆里面就这么捅扑，又没隔离，又没厕所，开水还要走到那个地方去打。救救我，向社会上反映一下，姐妹们。
It basically dovetails onto the number we had, 154,000. That's what I thought, 24,000, which dovetails on Dr. Jung and dovetails on to Lancet. This is where you've kind of been going the last couple of days. You've been thinking, doing these calculations. What set of numbers are correct? Are the CCP's numbers correct, or is directionally Dr. Jung, Lancet, and now this leak from Tencent?
CCP numbers are not correct. They just don't make any sense.
Why don't they make any sense?
If you're looking at, they report a case fatality rate of 2.1. And if you look at their total infection numbers, things just don't add up. If you look at and compare that to the total death rate that they're admitting to. We've expected this virus to become more contagious as it learns how to replicate in man. This is what these things do.
Without a vaccine, and a vaccine is not on the horizon.
No.
Not close. You hear this thing every day, oh, some guy in Australia, and people are like running around. A vaccine is not on the horizon.
I can tell you why.
Tell us why.
They've been working on one for SARS for a number of years now. And they had a candidate vaccine. They used a mouse model. They immunized the mice, let everything settle down, and then they challenged it with live virus. The mice all had a horrendous allergic reaction in their lungs. Their immune systems went haywire, over the top, and damaged the lungs. So, I mean, we're not even to the stage where you would attempt a human volunteer trial.
You think a vaccine here is years away?
It could be.
But the shortest case for a vaccine, you think?
It depends on how much money and how many people you want to devote to this.
Let's say a lot of money and a lot of people immediately.
6 months.
Okay, so in the 6 months, this goes back to Dr. Jung. And Dr. Jung is Gabriel Jung at Hong Kong University, was the first one. Go ahead, jump in.
We still have clinical trials to do in humans. So, do you see what I'm trying to say?
You got to speak. Can't you expedite that in a situation like this? Can't you? I thought President Trump, he had the ability to waive under emergency circumstances. You can waive things and do things. You don't have to do it by the FDA's nomenclature or protocol. You can do outside the protocol.
Anything involving human experiments, you don't get outside the protocol.
我可不可以晚一点死呀？我想把球赛踢完，我有答应过妈妈，我会好起来的。如果我死了，她会哭的。我不想要。
All right, we've got breaking details on the coronavirus, obviously still impact all around the world. Our correspondent, Jonathan Seri, is live in Atlanta with details. Good morning, Jonathan.
Yeah, getting reports out of Hong Kong about a 39-year-old patient who died in the hospital this morning. This marks the second coronavirus death outside of the Chinese mainland. The first occurred in the Philippines. That involved a 44-year-old Chinese man who had traveled from Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak, and it died at a hospital in Manila. The Philippines is now denying entry to non-citizens from China in an effort to prevent more infections. Here in the U.S., the Trump administration has created new guidelines funneling travelers returning from China through 11 U.S. airports with enhanced health screening capabilities. U.S. citizens who have been to the city of Wuhan or its Hubei province within the past 14 days will be subject to up to 2 weeks of mandatory quarantine. And other than a few exceptions, foreign nationals who have traveled to China during that period will be denied entry to the U.S. Public health officials have confirmed 11 cases of coronavirus in the U.S., including a second case of human-to-human transmission. A traveler returning from Wuhan apparently infected his wife in San Benito County, California, and in the San Francisco Bay Area, Santa Clara County health officials have confirmed 2 separate cases of coronavirus, both involving returning travelers from Wuhan.
We anticipate that we may have more cases simply due to the amount of travel that we have, although I expect that will tail off since the travel has tailed off.
The first U.S. patient to test positive for coronavirus has been released from a hospital near Seattle. The 35-year-old man had been hospitalized in an isolation unit since January 20 when he tested positive for the virus shortly after returning from a trip to visit family in Wuhan. Public health officials continue to monitor him as he recovers in isolation in his home. He's said to be doing quite well. Ed, back to you.
Jonathan Seri live in Atlanta. We'll stay on top of that story. Thank you.
At the epicenter of the coronavirus outbreak, long lines to get into a hospital in Wuhan, China. The number of confirmed cases now approaching 24,000, nearly 500 fatalities. Tonight, the first American confirmed to have coronavirus in China is being treated in Wuhan, while in the United States, still 11 confirmed cases. In Riverside, California, an infant has been hospitalized with a fever out of an abundance of caution. Among the 195 Americans evacuated from China last week under quarantine for 14 days. Also tonight, another plane full of stranded Americans is headed to a U.S. base.
What's different about novel coronavirus is that we don't know a lot about it yet, and we don't have a vaccine. And so our methods to prevent it are more limited.
With much of the world's second largest economy on lockdown, growing concern about the global impact. Major U.S. retailers closing thousands of stores across China. Airline service suspended. Car companies and manufacturers shutting down factories or losing critical Chinese suppliers. The company behind Tonka Trucks, Tinker Toys, and Lincoln Logs fears it could soon be affected. 90% of its products come from China.
Everybody used to say if America sneezes, the world catches a cold. Really, we're going to find out whether China sneezes if the world catches a cold as well.
The White House expects minimal economic impact, a fraction off the GDP, but the longer the outbreak lasts, the greater the impact.
We're finding out things on TV, so before we're told anything. So we actually heard this morning on the news that there has been 10 more confirmed cases, and nobody on board has told us any of those information as yet. So we're in the dark probably more than you are. I can't lie. I'm quite a positive person and always, says, you've got to make the most of this any situation, but it is getting a little bit testing. We are, necessities. We're being fed. We are being looked after. But I'm in an inside cabin, which means there is no window at all. So it's like if you imagine being in a hotel room with no window. We've been in this cabin since Tuesday evening and haven't been able to leave. We have to understand that there is a reason why they're confining us. But at the same time, I think they need to really assess this type of confinement, even if it's just to say, hello, this is your captain, we're trying our best, and just to say hello, I think will put our minds somewhat at a little bit of ease.
Today is all-day work. I know once you go back to D.C., I really appreciate you joining today the broadcast. I think today is very important because we see the China military central committee, it's the website make the announce. This is the officially top announce talk about the Wuhan virus. This is not from nature, not from the animal, it's from the people, but from America, maybe Stephen Bannon and the CIA. But I hope American really can know what has happened. Give Chinese the answer. Is it real from CIA as not from CIA? Is the American created this as the CCP created this? I want to give the Chinese the answer, the truth. Sir, I doubt you. Maybe you created the virus. You need to show Chinese evidence. Where from the Wuhan virus? Maybe it's Black Hand Stephen Bannon. I doubt you, sir. You need to give me evidence.
I told you. I tell Miles we have to give evidence for everything. He's absolutely correct. We'll have to give evidence.
You need to give evidence. CCP, top website, number one, the more important CCTV. This military never talk about any ridiculous. This is seriously.
I think that, listen, the very disturbing thing, and I'm having people look at it right now, the fact that they're saying it's not in nature, but it's man-made. And here's why that's a problem for two things. number one, it shows that people actually were in back of this.
Yeah.
But more importantly, it makes a vaccine that much harder to find because these things are made into weapons so that you can't cure them.
Yeah.
You can't get vaccines. So this is a very disturbing development.
加大传播这项的力度。我们要拯救在水深火热的湖北的武汉的同胞们，我们要再把国内的所有有关疫情的真实声音发到国际上来，做好准备。没有共产党的新中国的以后什么样？
好，那截止2月6号啊，全球被确认的感染武汉冠状病毒已经达到28,353例，其中28,088例是在中国大陆地区，目前已经有565人不幸死亡，其中549人是发生在重灾区的湖北武汉地区啊。在中国大陆其他省份死亡的这个区域呢，包括这个河南、重庆四川、北京、上海、黑龙江有3例，然后河北、海南、天津、广州，然后在中国的香港也有1人死亡海外目前只有菲律宾出现过1个患者死亡，共计1382人被治愈康复。然后从这个网站提供的这个统计的数据来看，这个被确认感染的人数每天大概都在将近增加，最近的2天之内是增加了大概4000人，所以说它这个疫情的扩散没有减缓，反而在不断的加大。最后国内的同胞平安保重。